The year is 2040. After years of debate on the stages of cognitive development, scientists are frankly sick and tired of the tediousness of it all. Using advancements in cell rejuvenation therapy, Erikson and Sigmund Freud are back and better than ever. The stage is set for the presidential race of a lifetime.
Welcome one and all to the first posthumous presidential debate in U.S. history. Ironically, neither one of our candidates are even from the United States.
Good evening. I am Sigmund Freud, but you can call me Victor because I already have this race in the bag.
And I am Erikson, the smarter and much better looking candidate.
Well, that's just your opinion, man. Now, Mr. Freud, what makes you so confident that you're gonna win the presidency?
My theory of cognitive stages is simply the best out there. It goes as follows: oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genitals. In other words, orangutans always play with little gorillas.
Mr. Erikson, your response?
All joking aside, my 9-stage theory of personality development is unquestionably correct in every way. At birth, it starts with trust versus mistrust, whether a baby learns to feel comfortable and trust parents care, or develops a deep distrust in the world if worlds are
You think that this stage of life starts with trust? It starts with oral. The mouth, you hear me? The mouth!
Shut up, sucker!
Saumensch!
Gentlemen, please settle down. Mr. Freud, why don't you pick up where you left off?
As I was saying, with my mouth. From birth to age 1, the sense of pleasure is centered around the mouth. The primary exploration during this period utilizes the mouth, like sucking and tasting.
Preposterous! Well, I can see where sucking and tasting might factor in. It has very little to do with early childhood development. Trust, I tell you, trust!
Why don't we move on to the next stage, Mr. Freud?
My next stage is the anal stage, occurring between ages 1 and 3. Just as good as it sounds. This is the next stage where children focus on the anus. Toilet training features quite heavily here.
Mr. Erikson, your response?
Inconceivable! The next stage is autonomy versus shame and doubt. And I must be 1 to 3 years old because I severely doubt your credibility. This stage is where the child learns a sense of competence and develops a greater sense of self-control, or failure results in feeling of shame and doubt.
Interesting points, gentlemen. Why don't we move on to the next stages? Mr. Erikson, would you like to start us off?
Well, of course. The next stage is initiative versus guilt, occurring from ages 3 to 5, where the basic virtue of purpose is developed. The child begins to insert control and power over their environment by planning activities and accomplishing tasks. Or, if initiative is dismissed or discouraged, either through criticism or control, children develop a sense of guilt.
Wrong. The penis is the answer. Allow me to elaborate. The phallic stage occurs approximately from ages 3 to 6. Boys ask, why hasn't she got one? Girls ask, why haven't I got one? Girls and boys begin to understand what it means to be a boy and what it means to be a girl.
Compensating much?
At least I didn't delete 33,000 confidential clinical case files from a public filing cabinet.
I don't get paid enough to do this. Next stage.
Allow me. Now comes the latency stage, occurring from age 6 all the way through puberty. The latency stage is a period of relative calm. The sexual and aggressive drives are less active, and there is little in the way of psychosexual conflict.
If only you were still in this fake stage. Everyone will be a lot more comfortable that way. Oh, and also, you're incorrect. 2 stages occur when you say the latency stage does. And as always, 2 is better than 1. This stage occurring after initiative versus guilt is industry versus inferiority. From ages 5 to 12, the child's peer group will gain greater significance and will become a major source of the child's self-esteem. The child is coping with new learning and social demands. Success leads to a sense of competence, while failure results in feelings of inferiority. The next stage is identity versus role confusion, occurring from ages 12 to 18. In this stage, teenagers explore who they are as individuals and seek to express a sense of self, and may experiment with different roles, activities, and behaviors. This is important to the process of forming a strong identity and developing sense of direction in life.
No, what? Oh, he's finished? Oh, okay. Freud, next stage.
Thank you, Miss Moderator. The final stage is the genital stage.
I thought you already had one of those stages.
That was just a penis. Now the vagina gets to join the party. This stage occurs from the end of puberty into adulthood. The focus of the individual is now maturity, creation, and enhancement of life. So this is not just about creating new life, reproduction, but also about intellectual and artistic creativity. The task is to learn how to add something constructive to life and society.
One stage for all of adulthood? How can you be so imprecise? Adulthood is comprised of 3 separate stages, starting with intimacy versus isolation. This stage takes place during young adulthood, between ages of approximately 19 to 40. During this period, the major conflict centers on forming intimate, loving relationships with other people. Success leads to strong relationships, while failure results in loneliness and isolation. The next stage is genitivity versus stagnation. This stage takes place during middle adulthood, between the ages of 40 and 65. People experience a need to create or nurture things that will outlast them. Success leads to feelings of usefulness and accomplishment, while failure results in shallow involvement in the world. The final stage in my genius, excellent, perfect, flawless stage model is integrity versus despair. This stage takes place after age 65 and involves reflecting on one's life and either moving into feeling satisfied and happy with one's life or feeling a deep sense of regret. Success at this stage leads to feelings of wisdom, while failure results in regret, bitterness, and despair.
You put the moderator to sleep again.
Hey,
wake up!
What? Oh, what? Oh, seems like we're out of time. Gentlemen, closing statements.
I have prepared for this job for my entire life and had the experience and knowledge to be the best president this country has ever seen. Vote accordingly.
Listen, if I'm president, we'll win so much you'll get bored with winning, okay? Believe me, we're going to win, 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 and when you get tired of winning, we're gonna win some more, right? We're gonna make psychology great again!